I travel a lot. I appreciate my life. Travel, stay in a lot of hotels. I've always got bad news for you. Noticing that hotels always. Unfortunately, sir, the Wi-Fi is only available in the lobby area. Was it all right to masturbate in the lobby area? That's what to say to them. Call them out on it. I might use your Wi-Fi in your lobby then, mate. And the websites I visit, that is between me and my browsing cookies. Your manager can deal with the inevitable negative reviews on TripAdvisor. Some stunned couple. Don't get me wrong, the rooms were spacious, the location was great, the staff were a delight, could not fault the food or the facilities, but on the final night there was a Scottish bloke ripping the head off it in the lobby. It was bloody disgusting, nothing subtle about it. He had his denims at his ankles, his feet on the coffee table. He was using both his hands at one point. He was shouting encouragement to himself. He then demanded housekeeping bring him a Hoover. It was rather bizarre. 2 stars. We won't be back. 2 stars. The Wi-Fi. Fucking killing this world, innit? The internet. I'm trying to cut loose. I'm trying to stay offline. Driving me fucking nuts. I like technology. I appreciate what the geeks have done in this world. Just don't like the person that I become. As soon as it fails, as soon as it stops working, it sends me fucking into a big angry primate. I've had too many of these rages. I'm quite a peaceful guy. Fucking laptop stopped searching for wireless networks a few weeks ago, right? I know that sounds a bit trivial, but it's enough to send me into a fucking piece of shit. Fucking shouting at it. Because I'm so out of my depth trying to figure out. Your laptop breaks, you've got 2 options, Johnny. You can hand it in where you bought it, or you can phone up the technical support line. What option did you choose, Johnny? In your own time, Johnny. Well, I phoned up, Johnny. You could hand it in, right? That's part of my problem. I know I need to hand this computer into fucking the Apple store to speak to Mark with a C, with his wee Genius t-shirt on. Talking about his band, yeah, we're called Skull Fracture. We're playing the unsigned 10 to 10 apart. His big stupid earlobes hanging down. Going to put your earrings back in, Mark, and stop putting people off calamari for life. I decided to phone up. The laptop was no longer searching for wireless networks. And people were calling it a first world problem. That just makes you angrier. I fucking know it's a first world problem. That's why I'm on the phone to the third world trying to get it fucking fixed. I phoned up. I'm on the phone. Indonesia. Talking to my man Gavin. He starts asking me questions. I'm telling Gav the issue. Gav's asking me for my DHCP client ID. I said, I don't know what that means, Gav. Gav told me, click on system preferences, then go to network settings, and then advanced network settings. And they said in there you should see an IPv4 phone number, and from that you should be able to see your DHCP client ID. I'm fucking getting excited here. Gav's onto something. I said, yes, Gav, I can see a DHCP client ID. And he's asking me if it's configurated or deconfigurated. I said, well, Gav, it appears to be deconfigurated. Gav tells me to click on, I'm already there, Gav. Clicked on configure, done deal. And he goes, try again. I'm so fucking excited, Gav, to try again. Tried again. And the laptop connected to the wireless network. I thanked Gav for his time. Then I'm left wondering, my mind is blown. Who the fuck undone that? Like, I've never been anywhere near that part of the computer before. So what the fuck happened between connecting to wireless networks and no connecting to... Did I have an MIT frat party in the living room one night? Did I have Mark Zuckerberg in the boys' room for a couple of cans? It's got a bit out of hand. I fell asleep at 6 in the morning, and rather than just shave off my eyebrows or draw a cock and balls on my face, some prankster has logged into my laptop and fucking deconfigurated my DHCP client ID. We're raising kids in this world. I'm only 28. I still remember the world being a bit simpler It's tragic when you hear the children going, Dad, this iPad's not performing the software update. Dad. And if I ever become a father, I don't know if I could handle that. I think I'll be saying, shut the fuck up, you wee tool. Performing a software update. You're a wee guy. Go up to the loft, find a golf club, go outside and chop some jaggy nettles. Go outside. Outside. Go there. And chop some jaggies. You're a wee guy. You've your whole life to perform software updates. Go out there and be bored. Decapitate a few dandelions. Get in the bushes. I've just been stung by a nettle. We'll get a fucking dock leaf then. Learn some survival tactics. Away out a big walk. Just kick a plastic bottle down the street. Be at one with your thoughts. Get a big stick. Get a bit of dog shite on the end. Patrol your bit fucking armed with a bit of dog shite on a stick. It's a rite of passage to any child. Sitting up in your bedroom getting cyberbullied. Fucking go to his door with a bit of dog shite on a stick. Need to be bored. Their minds are too occupied. I used to be bored as a child. I was quite a creative wee guy. I tried to start a boy band. I had mental ideas. And my daughter, Element 4, that's what I called it. I had 3 mates who I gave aliases to. Air, fire, rain, wind. I told them about my plans. They laughed at me, called me gay boy. I thought, fuck yous. I went solo, big wind. Getting into the kitchen, grabbing the radio, up to the bedroom, blank cassette in, pressing play and record at the same time. With my lyrics that I wrote, big wind in the studio. Baby, I've been thinking about you. I think you're thinking about me too. Make sure my dad's not there in case I get fucking leathered. When you said goodbye, it made me cry, baby. Then the voice that long, your eyes start to water, really adds a bit to it. Baby. I was fucking bored. I enjoyed childhood. Going out a big walk. Just showing up at your mate's door. Get in for your mate. Get in for somebody. Just battering the letterbox unannounced. All right, Mrs. Cassidy, is Stu in? I'm here to eat every crisp in this house. His name's Stuart, Kevin. Where is he? Stubstar! That's when you discovered the love you had for your own family. I see the wee dweebs. Oh, I actually hate my mum and dad. Fucking get the house then. A sleepover. That's when you discovered how much you loved your own mum and dad. When you went and spent an evening in another family. That was an eye-opener. We need that. The kids are too busy online. They're not socialising to this level. You need to go and spend time in another house. Discover you've got it good. That Saturday morning, returning home to your own house after a sleepover. Just want to cuddle your mum and dad. As if you just served in Afghanistan. Mum. Dad, bring it in, big guy. I know I don't tell you a lot, but I love you. The Cassidys are fucking weirdos. That's where I stay when I come to London, South East London, kind of Dulwich sort of area. There's a lot of knife crime, a lot of crime. I don't really know the solutions to that particular problem, but I think a start would be to maybe close the shops that sell the weapons in the first place. Now you get these high street shops that sell crossbows to guys in shell suits. Not these places. Shops that sell thousands of baseball bats every year, but have never sold any baseballs. Well, the Peckham Rye, Red Sox, I've not had a game in a while. I was in one of these places, done a bit of research, and the only security measure, if you want to buy a violent weapon, is you need to fill in a form leaving your name and address, so if anything happens, you can be traced for questioning. And that's the theory
But what self-respecting nutcase buying a weapon would leave their real name and address? Well, I picture some police investigation team going through the book and saying, excuse me, shop owner, says here, you sold a samurai sword to Bert and Ernie from 24 Sesame Street. And some new guy cop, he'd get sent on a wild goose chase somewhere. Sesame Street not showing up on the sat-nav. Putting down the window for directions. Going, excuse me, mate, excuse me. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame? That's a wind-up.
No longer the youth. I see the youth, right? I see the kids. It's new to me, watching a generation of youth coming behind me. These wee fucking dweebs that we're creating. They shout at me in the street. They shout, Gav. And I usually wave, but a wave is no longer enough for the youth. It's all this fucking shit, right? Just standing, what the fuck is that, you wee knob? That's fucking... It ruins your whole day going, how the fuck did that wee prick manage that with his fingers? Has he made a plasticine, that wee guy? Fucking moth. How did he manage it? I've got arthritis. I need to get cod liver oil. I can't get that back. I get dabbed at quite a lot, right? And one day, I done it back. It was a wee guy. He shouted my name, and I looked at him, and he done the full-on, like, dab, it's called, apparently. And I didn't want to disappoint the kid, so I done it back. And that is the first time in my life I have felt like a tragic old man. Standing in a shopping centre like a fucking Nazi checking for BO. They scare me, the youth, in my position. Wherever I go, I see them, and then they start talking when I walk into a cafe or somewhere. Like, oh my God, it's Kevin Bridges. Is it actual? That's actual Kevin Bridges. Actual. Is it actual? It's actual Kevin Bridges. And you just see a smartphone appearing, some wee guy recording you, about as subtle as 9/11, just sitting. I've no idea. I'm on Facebook Live wrestling with a vinegar sachet. See, I don't think that's a childhood, right? I feel for them. Right, social media is destroying their mental health, right? Becoming hooked on these phones, becoming self-obsessed, self-aware. It's dangerous. Childhood should be a time for not giving a fuck. Right, it should have been sacred, right? Where's the characters? Childhood was a time to be a weirdo and embrace it. I used to idolise the weirdos in my school, the kids who did not give a fuck what anybody thought, the kids who would spend lunchtime and playtime on their own, just running round the playground. They did not conform to any peer pressure. They were not affiliated to any social circle. They operated alone, just running lap after lap of the playground. They would have their jacket on backwards. They would have the hood covering their face, eyes closed, making motorbike noises as they're doing lap after lap. Alone in their own mind, tearing up the highways of their fucking imagination, just circle in the playground. The whole school would be watching. There he is, Krisyshenko. Krisyshenko! But the more you shouted Krisyshenko's name, the faster he drove that fucking Harley. He was... But these days, you're never going to see a Krisyshenko, because we would destroy him. Somebody would record a video of Krisyshenko on his chopper and upload that video to social media. People would begin laughing at Krisyshenko, who had never even met Chrissy Schenkel. And then somebody would feel sorry for Chrissy Schenkel and diagnose Chrissy Schenkel with attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. That mockery would immediately turn to sympathy. How the fuck can we help Chrissy Schenkel? At no point in that 1 minute video did Chrissy Schenkel request anybody's assistance. But this is social media. We need to make it about us. Let's set up a Just Giving page for Chrissy Schenkel. We don't know Chrissy Schenkel's financial situation, but we're going to raise him $5,000. I'm going to do a bungee jump for Chrissy Schenkel in the ADHD awareness charity. I'm going to grow a moustache for Chrissy Schenkel. It would be everywhere. Celebrities would get involved. Fucking Peter Andre, Ollie Murs doing the motorbike challenge for ADHD awareness. Chrissy Schenkel would get invited on The One Show. No idea that he is on The One Show. Running round the sofa on his chopper. The kid would be massive. Leading football teams out at cup finals. And then the Daily Mail would reveal that Chrissy Schenkel's auntie is a benefits cheat. We would put him right up there, and then when the time was right, when that was that, we'd destroy him. See, I was invited to do a talk at my old school, right? I was invited because I'm an example, right? I'm an inspiration to these dweebs, right? I get invited. Right? And I thought it was going to be a laugh, right? But it was a serious talk. It's all the head boys, all the prefects with the badges, kids who would have been fucking finished at my time at school. Right, the big perm, I'm the head boy, Cav, just want to say it. And they were asking me questions, right? It was a Q&A. I was like, all right, fucking better take this pretty serious. And the kid, he started off by asking me what kind of child I was at school. And I told him, I was honest. I told him I was quite a nervous child. I used to worry. I was anxious. I was overweight. I got called names. I got called fatty. Fatty boom boom. Chunk. Chubba. And the kid never laughed. He was deadly serious. And he said, oh, so fat shaming existed when you were at school. And that is when you realise how rapidly time is moving. I'm telling these kids about the 90s as though it was the fucking Victorian era. He's asking me if people were fat-shamed at school in the 90s. I'm fucking fat. You get fat-shamed. You get skinny-shamed, specky-shamed, spotty-shamed, ginger-shamed, buck-teeth-shamed, dog-breath-shamed, big ears-shamed. Your dad's an alky, shamed. Your mum would get it, shamed. Adidas 4-stripe trainers, shamed. And you had to accept it, or you got, can I take a shaming shame? It was part of the fucking curriculum in the 90s, taking a right good shaming. I used to get shamed every day. Fatty, chunk, chubba. I used to have having to do the thruffle shuffle in PE just to